You know when a team finally admits what everyone's been whispering for weeks? That's exactly what just happened with Ferrari. They've basically popped the hood wide open and confessed. The SF25 isn't just flawed, it needs a full-blown overhaul. Not a minor tweak, not an aerodynamic adjustment here and there. We're talking about a deep, borderline, desperate intervention across multiple systems in the car. And while McLaren is out there firing on all cylinders with sharp, effective updates, Ferrari's in full scramble mode, trying to stop a performance bleed that could soon spiral beyond repair. Now get this, Ferrari's update list? It's not small. We're looking at a comprehensive revamp. Floor changes, brake duct redesigns, tweaks to the rear wing, and diffuser elements too. All of this is aimed at fixing structural issues that have been ruining the car's ability to operate in its optimal window. What's wild is that 5 races in, teams like Mercedes and Alpine haven't introduced a single major update. Nothing. And in an aerodynamic arms race like Formula One, where every thousandth of a second matters, that raises some serious eyebrows. Some people think those teams are just leaning hard on preseason development. Maybe they built cars versatile enough to hold up through the early flyaway rounds. Others say it's a strategic choice. Wait for the European leg of the season, where logistics are simpler, and roll out a full package. There's also the matter of CFD and wind tunnel restrictions, which are tighter for front-running teams. That could be pushing these decisions closer to the deadline. But here's the thing, while others are holding back, McLaren is stacking performance like it's raining upgrades. And Ferrari, even though they're stumbling, are at least reacting. Mercedes and Alpine? They're frozen in time. What Ferrari did with the SF25 isn't just rare, it's almost unheard of. They didn't just tweak the top surface, they went deep. We're talking about a total rethink of the underfloor design, modifying the Venturi tunnels, diffuser profile, all of it. It's a sign that they found a serious flaw at the core of the car's concept. One of the biggest changes came in the fences, those vertical vanes that direct airflow under the car. Ferrari adjusted their position, added extra cuts, aiming to generate more efficient vortices. Even the floor edges got a new treatment with additional stakes to manage lateral airflow and help seal the floor. This all points to a car that's been plagued by inconsistent aerodynamics, one that only works in a very narrow performance window. And when it's out of that window, the whole thing falls apart. Try to fix one issue and you break another. That's how bad it got. So they pulled the trigger on this redesign as a last-ditch effort. Will it be enough to turn the season around? Honestly, maybe not. But here's the silver lining. Recognizing and admitting to the mistake early could be the one thing that saves them from complete disaster. Meanwhile, away from the garage and deep in the media zones, a bombshell might be about to drop. Imagine you're watching a live interview and suddenly, boom, someone says the quiet part out loud. That's what happened when Horacio Marin, the president of the Argentinian oil giant YPF, accidentally, or not, let it slip that Franco Colapinto could be making his Formula One debut as soon as Imola. Yeah, you heard that right. It wasn't part of the official statement. In fact, on air, Marin played dumb, claiming he knew nothing. But as soon as the cameras were off, he turned around and whispered just one word: Imola. That little offhand comment exploded across the paddock like a grenade. Suddenly, rumors that Jack Doohan's seat at Alpine isn't safe anymore aren't just whispers, they're screams. And look, this isn't just speculation from a random fan forum. This is the CEO of Colapinto's main sponsor hinting, intentionally or not, that big changes are coming. Since preseason, there's been this cloud hanging over Jack Doohan's role. Officially, Alpine's kept a straight face, putting out the usual, "we're confident in our driver's" statements. But behind the scenes, it's chaos. Doohan hasn't scored a single point in the first 5 races. Pierre Gasly at least got a 7th place finish in Bahrain. There's talk that Doohan's contract only guaranteed him a seat up to the Canadian GP, with a performance review planned for the summer. When someone from the Alpine Academy says they're happy with Jack's performance, it starts to sound like one of those compliments you get right before being let go. And what if Marin's slip wasn't a mistake? What if it was a calculated move, meant to stir the pot, get the media buzzing, and push Alpine into making a move sooner? It wouldn't be the first time a high-level exec used public pressure to steer a team's decision. Truth is, Alpine's in a rough place right now. They're having a rough season, and when you're that deep in the mud, even a distraction can be useful. A driver swap, especially one that excites sponsors and fans, could be just the ticket. Now let's talk about Franco Colapinto. He's not some unknown rookie. He already stood in for Logan Sargent at Williams, which, by the way, disqualifies him from taking part in future rookie practice sessions this year. So if he's getting back in a car in 2025, it's not going to be just a one-off fill-in. It'll be as a full-time driver. Behind closed doors, Colapinto's camp has been frustrated. The car isn't delivering. The team's structure feels shaky. And the worst part? There's this growing sense that he's just being wasted in a project that's got no clear future. You know how he described it? He said, "When we're alone on the track, we can build a decent rhythm. But the moment there's a car ahead, it becomes undrivable." That says a lot. And then there's Gabriel Bortoleto. The guy is clearly fed up, and not without reason. His frustrations aren't about ego. They're technical. Sauber has given him a car that's practically unworkable. Week after week, they're stuck at the back of the grid. The car has poor traction, shaky aerodynamic efficiency, and chronic handling issues. Bortoleto described it perfectly when talking about Lance Stroll. He had no pace at the end. "I was behind him for more than 20 laps after the safety car, always within a second, and I still couldn't pass. As soon as you get close, you lose all grip. You can't overtake. It's impossible." Inside the team, communication between engineers and drivers is breaking down. There's tension, there's frustration. And the biggest sting? Bortoleto was promised development. They told him 2025 would be different. But now it's May, and there's still no sign of meaningful progress. With Audi taking over in 2026, the uncertainty only grows. Is Bortoleto a part of their long-term vision, or is he just a placeholder? Audi's not just here to slap on a silver paint job and a logo. They want a revolution. It starts with the engines. They've already confirmed a highly electrified hybrid power unit that lines up with the new 2026 regulations. Efficient, electric-heavy, and definitely no return to the old-school V10s. The CEO, Gernot Döllner, made that crystal clear. No room for nostalgia. So where does that leave Bortoleto? Does he fit this new future? Or will he be left behind in the name of progress? What's becoming clear is that Formula One in 2025 isn't going to be just about lap times. It's going to be about identity. Who's adapting, who's innovating, and who's stuck in the past. And as teams like Ferrari fight to save their season, Alpine wrestles with internal chaos, and Audi looms on the horizon. The grid is more volatile than it's been in years. One thing's for sure, the storm is just beginning.